oh, I'm looking for somebody and I had 3 interviews and nobody showed up.
Right.
Well, exactly. That's what's going to happen. So in order to get results, you need to work backwards, get to the top of the funnel and get as many people in there as possible so that you don't have just 3 interviews scheduled, but you have 50 interviews scheduled.
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
Right now, while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
We took our notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies led Craig and I to selling more than $10 million in premium in the last 2 years.
On this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the same results.
Just go to live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
If you jump on this call with us, we're certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.
All right. And today we got a playbook.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Oh, we're talking about insurance recruiting, Mr. Jason.
Insurance recruiting.
Yeah.
That's right. So we wanted to take you through 4 actionable steps to create an insurance recruiting funnel.
Yeah.
And I think before we get into that, it is a funnel. It's exactly like prospecting for your leads. Whichever way you're doing it, it does require a process, and it is the same exact theory behind it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to start broad. You need to go after a whole lot of candidates in order to move to the next step, right?
Yep.
Which is the same when you're doing leads. You need to call a lot of leads to talk to even less leads to quote and sell.
Yep.
It's that same upside down triangle.
So the top 4 things that you need in your recruiting funnel. Number 1 is to actively look for resumes, because not everybody is putting their jobs on Indeed, right? Not everybody's looking for work. And most of your best candidates are probably currently have a job.
Yep.
And they're thinking about moving, but they're still staying there, right?
Yeah.
So you need to actively look for resumes. So adding that into your process is key.
Yeah.
You can put out things on like Indeed or some sort of passive search, but actively searching out resumes on a daily basis.
Right. We have to do something that's different than everybody else. If you just post the ad, then you're competing with all the other people that are posting the ad, and posting the ad is the easiest thing, right?
Right.
And so what is everybody going to do?
Post the ad.
Right. So we need to be different and we need to go after it.
Yep. Search for resumes. So there's a bunch of different services that you can look for resumes, actively search out those resumes.
Yep. And it's well worth the relatively small investment to be able to access resumes.
Yep.
Yep. So number 2, you make an email to move them away from the pain of where they are currently working. So if they're working at the agency, we need to create that new opportunity that's better than what they have. And it's going to solve the problem of what they don't like where they are.
Right. So, and that's great advice if you're currently seeking out agents that are currently licensed. If they're not currently licensed, like one of the things that we like to do is search out telemarketers.
Yeah.
In the telemarketing agency, so we can put that in the email as well. It's like, what about all these things? Like you're working at a telemarketing agency, you're not getting what you're worth in pay. What if you did it for the insurance agency, blah, blah, blah. And because those people might not even be thinking about working in an insurance agency.
Or if somebody's at an agency, are you getting as much opportunity as you would like to make that big money? So, what are you doing? Are you providing leads? Are you providing telemarketers? Are you giving the infrastructure for them to be super successful? The training, all those things that they probably aren't getting where they are, which is why you're able to get a hold of them.
100%.
Yeah.
Number 3, send a definitive number of emails, texts, calls daily.
Yep.
Like have that number that no matter what, I'm going to send out this many emails prospecting. I'm going to search out this many resumes.
Yeah.
Why? Because then within a few weeks how many responses you'll get and whether or not you need to ramp up or pull back or whatever.
Yeah. We hear all the time from agents how, oh, I'm looking for somebody and I had 3 interviews and nobody showed up. Right. Well, exactly. That's what's going to happen. So in order to get results, you need to work backwards, get to the top of the funnel and get as many people in there as possible so that you don't have just 3 interviews scheduled, but you have 50 interviews scheduled. Because you know what? Then 20 are going to show up or 15 or whatever it is. But you got to do those steps to get to that
You
spot.
need to be doing, like when I was doing this, we were doing 20 or 30 a day minimum to get just a few responses.
Yeah.
So depending on how many, if you need a lot of people, like start with 50 plus. I'm going to actively search out 50 plus resumes and send them the emails and all that stuff. So I would say minimum of 20 a day if you need someone, and a minimum of 50 if you like really need someone.
And consistency is key. Consistency over time equals results. So we have to be consistent if you want to hire somebody on an ongoing basis. And the last thing, send responses to a weekly Zoom call. So have a weekly Zoom call and have it no matter what. It's a non-negotiable. If you want to hire somebody, this is what you need to do to get them in the door and get those first interviews down.
And you can do it just one day a week, right? The idea is this: you're funneling all of these people into this weekly Zoom call. Once you get them in the Zoom call, you know within that meeting which ones you actually want in the office or to move to the next step.
Yeah.
And then you can use your normal recruiting
Right.
process after that. But I think that those top 4 things are the way to create consistent candidates where you're not just waiting on somebody else or relying upon somebody
Right.
else.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
And I think that's a play from the playbook.
That is a play from the playbook.
Yeah. And thanks for showing up.
Hey, what are you still doing here?
Well, while you're still here and while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
Yeah, if you weren't listening before, we took notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies did help Craig and I write over 10 million in premium in the last couple years.
And let me tell you, on this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the very same results.
Again, that's live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
And if you jump on with us, we are certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.